And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another day, another edition of the LiuLi Cup 2024 Grand Finals. Welcome to the day one of the playoffs. I'm, of course, host VIP. With me, I'm joined by these amazing players, by the people in the chat, by my pledges as well. Welcome, one and all, to our second broadcast of the day. Ay, papi. We just wrapped up casting the LiuLi League. It was at an 8.5 hour long cast, papi. Oh my god. It was crazy. We just finished casting almost 9 hours straight of a LiuLi League. I have since had we had like a 2.5 hour break. We had a 2.5 hour break. I got some food, I got some water, I had a shower, and we're back, and it's time to do it all again. I do recommend the VODs, by the way. LiuLi League was a blast, was a wild time. I didn't even notice how much time was passing by the way. Like, by the time we hit like the semis, I was like, man, what's going on? I was like, oh no, papi, oh no. But here we go. We are live with the LiuLi Cup playoffs here. Welcome to the upper bracket quarterfinals. We have eight amazing players, and two of them are facing off here and now. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Neon Violet Square, we have the Italian Zerg player, the Italian stallion, if you will. For Basilisk, it is Reynor. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Zerg player from Atlanta, Finland, representing Basilisk as well. It is Serral. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will take the series. Best of luck in the chat. This is not a replay. This is just straight up live here and now. Serral opening up gas. He's crazy, going hatch before pool. Going for a very greedy build here. But again, we are on Neon Violet Square. Fun fact, I think this is maybe the first, if not one of the first times I'm casting a ZvZ on Neon Violet Square. ZvZs are a rarity nowadays to begin with. But yeah, we rarely get eyes on this matchup here and on Neon Violet Square. It's crazy, it's wild, it's beautiful. Hatch before pool, before gas as well. The greediest build you can go for, but greed is the name of the game on Neon Violet Square. Welcome to one of the most vetoed maps of the map pool. Neon Violet Square is massive, it's big, it's all about cutting corners, all about greed. If you remember Radisson Station from a couple of seasons ago, very similar to that. Very similar to Radisson Station, where it's all about cutting corners, getting away with it, and then rushing into the mid game with a boosted economy, even into the late game as well. Here we go. Meanwhile, Reynor, he has not gotten the memo. Standard opener, standard hatch gas pool out of Reynor. Alas, he's going to be falling behind economically. Serral, just the greed. The greed is crazy. The greed is wild. And we'll see if Reynor can stop Serral from snowballing out of control into the mid game. Let's go. Hi. Share my papi, share. Recovered well. Not at all. I didn't get to sleep. I was hoping I did lie in bed for like an hour because again, like I didn't think I would sleep anyway, just because LiuLi League ended so late. It was such a late end of the LiuLi League broadcast. I didn't think that I would be able to sleep. We didn't sleep. I showered, I ate some food, I lay in bed for like an hour, and then we got up, and then here we are. so there we go. So I'm juiced up right now. I'm juiced up on coffee. I don't really drink coffee. I only ever drink coffee if I need to. This is one of those instances where I do need to drink coffee to make sure that I am alert, that I am awake, that I am able to at least cast what's happening in my face. And let's go. Lair. Do have a faster lair here out of Reynor. Faster lair here from our Zerg player. I believe he skipped link speed. Yes, he has skipped link speed. So Reynor is skipping link speed in favor of lair to get into 2-base play. This can lead into 2-base muta. True, can lead into mutas. Otherwise, could just be 2-base roach. If that was the case, though, we'd already see a roach horn. Without a roach horn, I'm feeling the mutas here. Show us what you got, as the drone is in position and the spire has been thrown down. So 2-base muta here out of Reynor makes plenty of sense. Serral, he did invest into link speed, but I don't see anything else. I don't see a roach horn. I don't see a neighbor chamber. I see gases, which means I also see muta play out of Serral. The question becomes, who will have more mutas? On the one hand, yes, Reynor, his spire is faster. That is true. The lair was faster as well. Serral's tech is later, but he has a greater economy. Look at the drone counts here. Serral, he's had more mining, he's had more mineral income, he's going to have more gas income as well, leading into muta play. So it's not clear cut as to who will win out in the muta wars. I'm leaning towards Serral here, as I believe the quantity of mutas are going to be able to overwhelm the speed of the muta list here out of Reynor, but we'll see as the spire's been thrown down and we have muta versus muta. It's a bit of a rare sight, but again, just because of the nature of Neon Violet Square, that's kind of what we expect to see here between Reynor and Serral. So it's going to be all about those mutas and all about how the players do engage with each other as well. Likewise, Overlords are out on the map. We'll see who pulls back first. Fourth base already on the way for Serral. Once again, Serral, he has a boosted income, so he does have a faster fourth, but can he maintain his income? Can he maintain his Overlords? Can he maintain himself, as mutas are already on the way? So far, 5 mutas here out of Reynor. Overseer Scout coming in, Changeling gets shut down, but ooh, he scouts Serral. He's fully aware of what's going on, and he should know that his obviously his Spire is not done. His Spire is not done. He knows that mutas are going to be faster for Reynor, and Serral, he should be pulling back. He should be responding. There we go. Spore Crawlers are on the way for Serral. The Overlords, they're fanning out towards the edges of the map. He's going to try to survive and try to save whatever Overlords he can, and as he does relinquish map control initially before catching back up. I love that he's being active with these things as well. Again, remember, he has Link speed and Reynor does not, so these Links have potential to pop off to get some critical damage. Here come the mutas. They have arrived. Mutas have hit the field. I believe 5 mutas in total for the time being. Ooh, Reynor going for the gold belt. Serral, he's here to deny the gold base. Oh my god, the reads. Serral, he's here. He has arrived, and he will force a cancel. Mutas forced to turn back around. There's a cancellation on that hatchery, on that gold. And Serral, he does go straight. There's nothing here. There's nothing at home. There's nothing on the ground. Drones are going to be going down. Some critical damage. The mutas, they race back home, but there's nothing to defend. No lings, no bailings, no nothing. Just a queen, just a handful of mutas, and this is already getting out of hand. It's getting out of control. 6 drone kills already. Ay, ay, ay. Did I say 6? Up to 10 drones. 10 workers going to be going down. Now, finally, Links have arrived. Remember, no link speed. No link speed here at Reynor, so he cannot keep up. He cannot chase this down. He cannot punish. Serral, he races back home. And behind this, mass muta. Mutas are amassing, and I'm afraid to look how many mutas does Serral have. 12, 13. He already has more mutas than Reynor. Again, it's one of those things where Serral, all of this is because he did have the more economic build, because he had the faster third base, the better droning, the faster gases as well. Didn't matter that Reynor was faster. What mattered here was the amount of resources that Serral had, as he has now overwhelmed the army of Reynor. Has since overwhelmed. Meanwhile, a big shout to Soda. God, thank you so much, Soda, for the raid. Hope you had a great stream. Hope you had a great ladder session. Welcome, one and all, to the LiuLi Cup. Welcome to the playoffs. Welcome to game 1 in this ZvZ. If you're curious what's happening, it's Muta v Muta. It's Muta versus Muta here. Serral, he went for a hatch before gas full. A very greedy build out of Serral. Serral, as a result, he was up like 5 drones throughout the course of this game. Reynor rushed into a faster lair. Reynor had faster mutas. Serral, he punished with a Ling Flood. As you can see here, 10 drones have already gone down from the side of Reynor. And Serral, he does now have the muta lead. He now has the economic lead as well. He's on 4 bases compared to 3 bases of Reynor. Reynor is strictly behind. We'll see if he can bounce back. He can try to outposition Serral, and that's the goal here, as he does try to rotate towards that 4th base. But last Serral, so far, he's keeping up. Looking at the units tab, it's going to be 24 to 20 mutas of Reynor, but he does at least have those lings that can support. As I say that, mutas, they will come across the lings, and they do catch an Overlord. Overlord goes down. Reynor going for a counter stack, headed towards the natural, making his way in, trying to catch reinforcements. Alas, does not quite get one, and has to respect this quite a bit here. Does pull away. Do have a +2 carapace on the way for Serral. Likewise, 1-1 on the way for Reynor. So both working the upgrades. So Reynor does get the gold, true. Gold base can help make up for his otherwise worse economy. Can make up for it. Likewise, Serral, he is yet to commit. Reynor, he does saturate. As I say that though, Serral, he has invested quite heavily into these lings. 43 lings for Serral, and only the 22 for Reynor. Oh, mutas are distracted. Lings are coming from the right-hand side, headed towards that natural. They dive in. Oh, catching out a couple of lings. Likewise, lings are head towards the gold. Mutas pulling back. Serral looking for a way in. Yeah, coming in from behind. There's no spore. Yeah, drones are going down, getting 5 drone kills here. Reynor on the back foot as he responds to the mutas. Lings, they flood in once again. I believe the link count in favor of Serral. As he does bust in. Does not quite break through the queen, though. Not yet. Serral, once again, he does engage. And again, Serral, he does have the higher muta count. Lings, they come in to support to soak some of those glaive hits. And I believe Serral, he should be coming out on top here. Yeah, he's got 10 plus mutas compared to Reynor. He will overwhelm. And Reynor, his army just crumbles. GG gets called. Serral takes game number 1. GG. GG, well played. A very strong start out of Serral. Again, winding it back here on Neon Violet Square, it was just purely a game of greed. We saw Serral just rush into an insanely fast hatchery early on. Again, it was hatch before pool and before gas as well. So just really greedy opener out of Serral. Likewise, they would just get a better start overall and was able to just have a larger economy, a greater army as well. Likewise, it also helped that he went for a Ling run by beforehand when Reynor, he skipped Ling speed, so he wasn't able to keep up with the Ling, so he also lost extra drones there. Likewise, the goal base was cancelled before the raid, for those that were just tuning in. Reynor initially tried to go for the goal base, but was cancelled ahead of time as well by a Ling run by, so Serral, he was looking quite comfortable in that game. But what I should emphasize here is that the game on Neon Violet Square is very unique here. Oh, as I should update the score, just because of the nature of the map itself. You don't really see players rushing into just greater economies and rushing to Muta versus Muta on other maps. Neon Violet Square is unique just because of how large it is, and a very large map of the map pool, very defendable. The pocket base is a big factor, the goal base as well. Like, there's a lot that makes Neon Violet Square a weird map, which is why I'm a little bit surprised it made it through the vetoes, but it's a best of 5, so one of those things where vetoes are quite limited between our players. So a map like Neon Violet Square, a map like El Dorado, some of these otherwise vetoed maps can slip through the cracks and make it through, and we see games like this. How often do you see Muta versus Muta nowadays? Like, it's a rare sight. It is a rare sight. Did appreciate that we had it, and now we're jumping into game number 2. Game 2 is going to be on another large map. We're going to be loading into Abyssal Reef. Let's go. Let us go. I see in chat, would Reynor dare play Protoss versus Serral? Yes, because if you're watching the CranKy Ducklings here over the weekend, you would have seen Reynor play Protoss against Serral. That did already happen. that already happened this weekend. It happened during Masters Coliseum, so the answer is yes. As it happened a couple of days ago. But in a big premiere event. But here we go. We're getting into our next game. We're getting into game number 2. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Abyssal Reef, we have the Italian Zerg player, the blue Zerg representing Basilisk. It is Reynor. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the Finnish Zerg player, the red Zerg representing Basilisk. It is Serral. Leading the series 1-0. Breathe. It's fine. I do apologize if I do end up like kind of like going off like that. The reason for that is for those that are now tuning in, I mean, some of you may have been from the original CranKy Ducklings stream earlier today. We were casting LiuLi League. It was like an 8.5 hour long cast just earlier today, and it has not been long at all since then. I think it was like 2.5 hours until this stream. And I had enough time to eat, to have a shower, and to rest for like an hour. I didn't get to sleep. I tried to. I didn't get to. Because I didn't get to. I'm insanely tired, so I'm juiced up on coffee right now. That's what I am. Let's go. I don't drink coffee too often, but there are certain instances like today, for example, where I guess today is like a 12+ hour cast day sort of thing, and I need the energy to stay awake. So that's me right now. Coffee's in my veins, Papi, in my veins. Aye. So that's where I'm at right now. But hey, I mean, at least I'm awake, and we're here to cast. We're here to enjoy the StarCraft. For now, standard openers here. Again, last game we had some crazy builds going for a hatch before gas before pool, just insane greed out of Serral. This time, standard opener, which is what we expect to be seeing here. Now that we load into a much more standard map in the map pool. I mean, I say standard map, it's still big, it's still large, second only to Neon Violet Square, but nowhere near as many corners are being cut. Not this time. As we are settling in, link speed is on the way for both players. Hatch gas pool into a third base. We'll see if either player does embrace Link Bane production. We'll see if, I mean, from here we should be looking to take a third base. We shouldn't really be playing 2 base or anything like that into roaches. I would imagine we're going to be calming things down and settling into a much more standard setup. My life is built on coffee. Oh no, I don't really drink coffee. Like I only ever drink coffee if I'm like for example, if I'm like casting like 16 hours of like EPT or something, then like I drink coffee then, or like a 14-hour cast of like Homestar Cup group stage, like I drink coffee then, or like here for example, where like again today we're casting like 12+ hours. Like only in that instance. I'm not the kind of person that needs like coffee in the morning. Like I just wake up, I just get to work. Like I'm fine without it. But usually it's like you know, break glass in case of emergency sustenance, and that's when I rely on coffee, sort of thing. But yeah, here we go. We go. But now, do have our initial setups here. Again, Bathing Nest on the way. No one is skipping their Bathing Nest. No one is going into fast roaches or playing on 2-base, nothing crazy like that. We're just expanding, getting our thirds, and embracing Ling Bane here in the mid game. Let's go. We're just getting into our Ling Bane phase of the game. We'll see if either player does invest into a Ling Flood. Otherwise, we could just drone off from here, get up to 2-base saturation, get a Roach Warren, get a Lair, get into Roach v Roach. Maybe try to squeeze out a Spire. But so far, no major forms of aggression as both players are droning. Both players are just droning up. They're just saturating. Nothing crazy. Nothing wild. Better than energy drink? Ah, it's the same thing. It might. I mean, it's point. I don't think either one is healthy for you, but sure. Same thing. Yeah. For now, though, just going to be droning. Likewise, we do have our Carapace on the way. Initial Carapace, interesting. Now, this could just be the beginning of the Solar build. There is a Solar all-in where he does rush into Carapace, goes into Roaches, and Link Floods behind it. Does cut workers earlier on, so my eyes are going to be on Reynor, as typically we don't rush into this upgrade unless we want to hit a timing. If we wanted to play macro here, if we want to play into a longer game state, we would have seen +1 range instead. So, interesting choice here by Reynor, as I do not see a Lair. Lair is on the way for Serral, building up, +1 range. Everything is looking normal from the side of Serral, but Reynor, he is still not taking up. Lings are amassing, show us those roaches, show us that all in. Yeah, Reynor, he's cutting workers. So Reynor is cutting workers at 47, so this is going to be basically a 2-base all-in. You can see here that Reynor, he transferred workers over from his natural to make it look like he's droning. He's doing anything but. So straight up all-in here by Reynor. One way or another, the game is about to end. Either he breaks Serral or he dies trying. Back at home, Serral, he is still droning. Ooh, he's droning, he's taking gases. Serral, he believes we're getting ready for a macro game. And he's even getting a 4th base. Oh my god, and here comes the all-in. Serral, he droned up heavily. He has 20 workers on his opponent. Plus, of course, morphing in the gas guys, just morphing in the Roach Warrant, sorry, the hatchery. There's the cancel. Serral, he has to pull back. But does Serral have enough time? Does he have enough time to react and to survive and to get ready for the all-in? Looking at the units tab here, 15 roaches already. We have Bailings on the way, 22 Lings going to be flooding across the map. More Lings are on the way as well for Reynor. And Serral, he's in trouble. Is in a lot of trouble. We need the perfect defense out of Serral. We have a wall of 6 spike. Jesus. 6 spine crawlers on the way. It's all or nothing for Serral. First Bailing gets baited out. Ooh, better Bailing station towards the end. So, he tries to crash in. Bailings get shut down. We do head towards the mineral lines. We head towards the spine crawlers. And Reynor, he's breaking through, initially at least. Yeah, breaks through the front lines. We do have 4 spine crawlers behind this. Reinforcements on the way. The longer this goes on, the better it's going to be for several spine crawlers. They're trying to move forward. And Serral's being forced back. Boys are being pulled. Reynor, he does rotate over towards that 3rd base. Again, the spine crawlers do finish. Serral, can he hold? Can he hold on? Takes out the spine. More roaches are trickling out. Serral's still up in workers. He's still up 10 drones. Wow, and with that, the spine crawlers, they barely hold on. Reinforcements have arrived. Serral is diving on the Ravagers, and Serral, despite being up 20 drones, GG gets caught. Serral, he survives. He's crazy. He survives the all-in, and he takes a 2-0 lead. GG. I'm impressed. GG, well played. Serral, he was up 20 workers. He was taking gases. He was investing into upgrades that did not come into play. He was getting a 4th base as well. He saw the army coming out across the map, halfway across the map as well. But, to be fair, Abyssal Reef. Long rushes and spike ground, so it took a little bit longer than normal to get across the map. Precious seconds were afforded to Serral. How did he respond? Cancelled the 4th base, threw down 6 spine crawlers to defend. I think it was even more than 6 actually. And with that, he barely held on. You could argue some of the Bailings were wasted for Reynor as well, as he was trading with the Bailings of Serral. And GG. GG, Serral. I feel like he should be dead, but no, never mind. It's Serral. it's never mind. He survives the all-in. And Serral, he does take a massive lead here. And Serral is now 1 game away. 1 game away from advancing on into the next round and from knocking Reynor down to the lower bracket. Oh boy. Here we go. 6 mines. Yeah, it was. I mean, it was 6 mines, and they were all centralized at the third base. Bear that in mind as well. There were no spine coolers at the natural. They were all just centralized, and they actually did come into play. So, of course, he was able to buy enough time for the spine coolers to finish. Of course, he pulled the boys for a time as well, which he could afford to lose, right? He could afford to lose some drones, true. Bear that in mind as well. Just bought in enough time as possible, as much time as possible for those spines. GG. GG, well played. It says Dark versus Max Fax. Oh, does it? Oh, that's kind of weird. Hold on. There we go. Sorry, that was a little bit of a bug. There we go. Serral versus Reynor. Do apologize that it showed the wrong name out of screen. It was just a weird bug. Dark versus Max Fax we're going to be casting later on tonight. Later on, they're going to be made available. For now, though, we have game number 3, and spawning in the top right-hand corner of Leylines, we have the Italian Zerg player, the Blue Zerg, down in the series. We'll see if he can bounce back and make a series out of this as he's up against the wall. For Basilisk, it is Reynor. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the Finnish Zerg player, the Red Zerg, representing Basilisk, as well as their teammates. It is Serral. The best Zerg player in the world. He's up 2-0 already. And in game 1, it was all about a game of greed. We rush into greed, rush into mass muta. Game 2, Reynor, everything was looking good for him. He went into a big 2-base all-in. He faked Serral out. He made him make 20 extra drones than he needed. And Serral still survived despite the all-in. What do we do now? Like, what can be done, Pappy? Oh my god. We might just see a standard game. True, we could just play straight up, could just play standard at this point. A little bit shocked that this wasn't the point where Reynor brought out the Protoss, but I also don't know the rule set for this tournament. There are some tournaments that don't allow race switching in the middle of a series. There are some tournaments that do allow race switching, so that could also be a factor here. Specifically, Reynor did ask the admins of Masters Coliseum, and he was allowed to race switch. For LiuLi Cup, I don't know if he can. It's possible that he can't. It's possible that they don't allow that. If that is the case, then yeah, might be stuck with Zerg. Go. But now there's standard openers. Hatch gas pool out of Reynor, hatch gas pool out of Serral as well. We are going to be settling in. For now, Serral here is just going to be settling in, joining up. We do have our link speed on the way. From here, we get a Bailey Nest. I should say we get our third base into our Bailey Nest, into our standard setup. Nothing too crazy here, nothing too out of the norm. We'll see if either player does decide to wall up, but the answer is no, as both players will expand. Both Serral and Reynor do confirm. Drones being sent out, and expansions are being taken. So we're settling in. Now, part of me does appreciate how fast the series has been so far. I'm still hoping, though, for a longer back and forth, right? I'm hopeful for a game 4. I'm hopeful for a game 5. I want to believe that Reynor can bring it back. I want to believe, but again, so far it's stacked against him. Extra links on the way behind this. Ooh, Reynor is going to be investing a little bit harder. No Bailey Nest. No, Bailey Nest is going for Link Flood. He's going for the initial Link Flood, and he should be skipping Baileys from here, going for a faster Roach Horn instead. Meanwhile, Serral, he's going for roaches already. Jesus. Aggression from both sides. Reynor is link flooding, and Serral is going for a roach rush. Oh boy. Here we go. Who do we favor? I mean, a lot of this is going to come down to the Bailings, to be honest. Bailey Nest is almost done, and Serral, he's going to need those Bailings here to survive, to defend. As we pull the... as the army's coming. The boys are moving out. Serral, he spots the Lings. He is now aware we need Bailings. We have one Bailing on the way. Second Bailing now morphing in. Lings, they try to rush on forward. Serral, can he defend his third? So far, just trying to buy time. One Bailing has arrived. Doesn't want to waste it. Oh! Doesn't want to waste it. Hatcher getting low. Zoning back the army. Oh! Ooh, one Bailing shot goes off. There's one Bailing left, and the hatchery, it's going to go down. Yeah, the base does fall. Bearing in mind, Serral is still up in workers. I say that 2 drones going down. Still ahead, but not as far as he should be. And Serral is amassing roaches. 4 roaches on the way. And Reynor, he just now finished up his own Bailey Nest. He has no roaches of his own. Serral, he's getting ready for a counterattack. Speaking of, here it comes. Serral, he is now moving out. His goal here to at least break the third base of Reynor, hopefully getting more damage. We'll see if he can. At the same time, Reynor going for his own counterattack, hoping to try to catch reinforcements. So he does slip by. Serral catching out a drone. Roaches have made it. Oh! Serral pulling back. Back at home. Looks like Lings were dealt with. And Reynor's going for a counterattack. Yeah, he's just going for a counterattack instead. He's sending everything across the map. This hatchery should go down. Reynor massing up his own Bailings. Massing up his own Bailings. The Bailings here of Serral, they're not ready yet. One Bailing is barely not going to be denied. Wow, they finish up in time. Hatchery goes down. Serral has to turn around from here. Oh! Oh no! Ooh, massive connection. A nice spread here against the Bailings. Serral, he avoids splash damage, and Reynor, he's getting in trouble. He does race back home, though. He's coming in for the surround. Yeah, the roaches, they get caught out. Mass surround. Serral, Reynor, he will clean this up. Very efficient trades. Serral, he backs the hell off. And the roaches, they need that Bailing support. Oh no! Oh no! Oh my god. Thank God. Calm down, Papi. Calm down. Serral, he's going to be the first to re-expand and take his third. Both players have a similar economy. Oh. This Reynor does pull back. More roaches are amassing. Reynor, can he commit? Can he try to break the expansion? Oof. Okay, he's going for it. He's going for the base. Bit of trade to Reynor when it comes to Ling Pain, and does force a cancel. And he floods into the mineral line. At least he tries to. Serral, he keeps up. Will not lose a drone. Serral does defend, but he does lose the third base for a second time. And Reynor, his zone is almost done. So Reynor, he gets away with a faster third. Now suddenly the pendulum swings once again, and now it's going to be on Serral to try to punish the third base of Reynor. It just keeps going. It keeps going, Papi. It keeps going. This time Serral chilling back at home, building on more roaches. Roaches now on the way for Reynor. Serral, he slips in, confirms no lair. Confirms no Evo chamber. Reynor's force back. Serral looking for a way in. Slips in towards that natural. Does target down the drones. He gets one. Oh, almost two. Gets one drone so far. Likewise, threads a dive towards the third base. Reynor's in position. Two drones going to be falling. Serral does take a worker lead. Take a lead, establishing his own third. Whew. And as the dust settles, we can calm things down in a sense. Still no lair at a Reynor. Lair is halfway done for Serral. He's getting plus on range. Serral once again is building up towards the mid game. Reynor is not. Reynor, he is not teching. What does that mean? It's going to be another all-in. Reynor, he's massing up roaches. He's cutting drone production, and his goal here is to end the game here and now. It's to move out across the map to break Serral and hope to once again catch Serral over droning. And Serral isn't over droning, but he is, in a sense, kind of like over teching. Like, he's spending resources on upgrades that aren't going to be helping too much here in the main defense. Assuming the Reynor strikes before the upgrades are done, which is happening. Like, plus on range, not going to be a factor. Lair is done, that's not going to be a factor either. Reynor, he is pushing. Oh. Here comes Reynor. Reynor, he does have a slight supply advantage here. Reynor, he is up in Lings, but he has less roaches. So going to be diving in. Files, they do graze the army. Oof. Yeah, some of the biles do connect. Lings, they flood in as well. That's what the Bailings come into play. At least they try to. They try to zone back. Queens move forward. Voids are being pulled. The biles. Oh my god. I'll say take down some of the drones. And Reynor, has he done it? Can he break through? Takes down the queens. Lings into a great job of tanking. Piles they connect in the middle line. GG gets called, and Reynor, he does it. Reynor, he fights back. He puts a point on the board. GG. GG, well played. Again, Serral, he was thinking further ahead. He was getting ready for a later game. Likewise, he didn't really have many Banelings to protect his roaches. He only had the one Baneling. It got targeted down real quick. Serral just wasn't ready for what was to come. And with that, we have a series. We have a back and forth. Let's go. We have a back and forth here. Reynor, he fights back. And he will not go down without a fight. Could even bring it back to the ace match and even take the series himself. It is possible. Here we go. But again, just a very chaotic ZvZ is what I will say. That last game, just very back and forth. There were moments for Serral, moments for Reynor, Serral again, Reynor again. Just very back and forth. Very dynamic. Here we go. We are getting into game number 4. It's going to be on Amygdala. Whew. Let's go. Here we go. Sorry for that meeting. Do apologize. But yes, our next game is going to be on Amygdala. Amygdala is a much larger map of the map pool. Curious. We saw that our players did embrace Muta play previously. They embraced Mutas on Neon Violet Square. Amygdala could be a map to do that on as well. We'll see. Again, it's one of the larger maps, has a longer rush distance by ground. As a result, we could see our players try to skip some tech, but we'll see. Especially after the last couple of games. Both players, Reynor especially, has been hyper aggressive. So may not want to play out a longer game state. Not again. Not after what just happened. In the previous games, I mean. Here we go. So players are ready. We're jumping in. And spawning in the top right-hand corner. In the top right-hand corner of Amygdala, we have the Italian Zerg player, the Blue Zerg, representing Basilisk. He does fight back. He does put a point on the board. It is Reynor. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the red Zerg player from the land of Finland, also representing Basilisk, one game away from becoming or from advancing on into the next round. It is Serral. Late game ZvZ seems very rare. A lot of it is map pool dependence. Like there was a period in time during the Gressvan era of StarCraft where we had so much late game ZvZ. We saw it so often. This is a good map for it. If you recall, we casted, it was Serral versus a laser on Amygdala on this map, where a laser, he went mass Muta, Serral, he went Hydra Lurker Viper, a laser, he switched into Muta Ultra. Both armies were maxed out, 200 supply, you know, like 5 base versus 5 base, and in the end, Serral just had his way with a laser. I think a laser did that twice in that series, if I remember correctly. It didn't happen too long ago. It was in this map pool. Actually, was it at LiuLi Cup? Is that when they played? I think so. I think so. I can't remember the previous time that we casted a laser versus Serral. But yeah, it was on this map. It was on this map. So typically it is, again, just really map dependent. If it's safe to, you know, get into your 2, 3, 4 bases, if it's more defendable. Again, like a map like Gressvan, I would say I would probably put Abyssal Reef there as well. But we saw that Reynor went for an all-in on Abyssal Reef, so he avoided that kind of game state. Comes down to our players. We go. But yeah, I think as a caster, I might have just, like, especially during that era, like, I might have just had my fill of late game ZvZ. Like, I'm talking, like, Lurker Spore Lines versus Lurker Spore Lines, split map scenario, you know, Viper versus Viper. And that's what eventually it turned into. It was like, you'd have 12 Vipers versus 12 Vipers. You'd have them in 2 different groups. You'd be, like, abducting each other. You'd be, like, powerbombing each other. Then when a group dies, you could bring in the second group, and then you have to rebuild and back off. Like, it was it was a dark time. I want to say we casted, like, I don't know, like a 45-minute, like, ZvZ between Dark and who was a Dark and Scarlet. Likewise, Dark and Shin, Dark and Dark and everyone, basically. That was back when he was just embracing, just turtling up in Mass Lurker in ZvZ. Coincidence, it was a dark time. It was a very it's a very dark time. I think we cast a Dark versus Serral as well. That was at a DreamHack, which ended up in that situation. Oh. But now though, we're calming things down, we're joining up. Alright, gonna be joining up. Likewise, we have our Bailey Nest on the way. No one is cutting any tech, no one is skipping anything yet for the time being. Third bases are being taken. And really our eyes are on the production tabs here to see if anyone does go for an early Link Flood, if anyone goes for early tech as well, early Evo Chamber, early Roach Warren, early Lair. As Serral, he is going to be active. Roach Warren on the way for Reynor behind the mineral line. Serral applying some pressure. Nibbles away at the expansion. Should be zoned away. And is he coming from behind? But so far, Reynor, he does hold his own. Ooh. Bit of miscontrol. One Bailey goes down. But Serral backs off. He backs off. He's droning, getting his own Roach Warren back at home at a more standard timing. Reynor, he might try to be more aggressive with this. We'll see if he does invest into too many more roaches. As Serral does snipe the Tumor. Tumor goes down. Both players droning up, including Reynor. Roach Warren's done, and we do have a couple of safety roaches on the way. Oh! Oh my god. As initially, Serral would lose one Bailey, but he trades 1 for 1. Getting another 2! Reynor stepping up here. And another bit of vision trades from Reynor. Alas, Serral backs off. We're content to just drone off from here. Both players getting to their lairs, and for the first time this series, this is looking like a standard ZvZ. Yes, there was a little bit of Ling Bane aggression, but just some light Ling Bane aggression. Both players are taking into roaches, both players are taking into a lair, into gases as well. We are embracing a longer game state. Again, for the first time this series. I mean, kind of, like, in a way, game 1 also kind of led in that direction, but it was very unique just because it was Muta versus Muta. Here, we're getting to Roach v Roach. And again, a big reason for this is the map itself. Like, it's really difficult being aggressive early on because of the size of the map, because of the limited attack paths as well. It is easier to scout. As you can imagine, you have 2 attack paths, towards the north and towards the south. Like, there's no other way to get across the map, so it's easier to get eyes on move outs. This does change as the giant tumors do, you know, expire, and as the rocks get opened up, then you do have like more ways across the map, and you can be more aggressive and more assertive. But that's later on in the game. And there it is going to be a faster Spire out of Reynor. Now, Reynor, he's investing into +1 range. This tells us that most likely Reynor, he's only investing into like a light amount of mutas. I'm referring like 5, 6, 7 mutas, assuming that he's going to be starting up Roach speed, and he's not going to mass muta. As rocks are being knocked down, Serral is the first to expand. And yep, Roach speed. So it's just a harassing amount of mutas. This is designed to hunt down overlords and to potentially threaten mineral lines and to keep Serral in check. Behind this, ooh, Serral going for Drop Lord harass and going for his Hygen. Did he scout? He did. Oh, there we go. Comes in with the Overseer. Serral, he sees all, he knows all. Hygen as a response, and he's going for Drop Lord harass as well. Here we go. So, upon seeing this, Serral, he knows that he's going to have more roaches than Reynor. We'll see how he can make use of that. Likewise, Serral, he should be pulling back with some of his overlords. Trying to get them into safer locations. Moving out with his army. I mean, sorry, he has overlord speed anyway. So they should be fine. And here comes Serral, posturing. Posturing outside of the base. 5 mutas on the way for Reynor. Hydra upgrades in production. And I can already see this leading into a long game state. What's going to happen here is that Reynor's going to gain map control because of the mutas. Serral is going to strangle that away with his Hydras, and either Serral is the aggressor and he does push out with Roach Hydra, or Serral decides to turtle and goes Roach Hydra into Lurker and then into maxing out and just turtling up back at home. So I feel like the pace of this game is about to be dictated by Serral. We'll see. For the time being, though, no Lurker Den. So it looks like he can just push out with Roach Hydra. The goal base is going to be denied. Serral trying to keep up. Ravager's morphing in. Mutas haven't done much yet. Like Serral going for his own Ling run by. Does hit the mineral line. Oh. Again, there's less workers because Reynor did Maynard over towards the gold. The goal base is helping. Lings get cleaned up. And Serral, he needs his own gold. And this is the big part of Amygdala, is whoever has map control has the gold base. And Serral, he's denied mining. Both armies are maxing out. Reynor's trying to push in. Serral collapsing in the army from the right-hand side. Coming in for a flank. +2 about to finish up for Serral. +1 carapace as well. So Serral, he will have the better upgrades. Yeah, it's going to be up at 2-1 compared to the +1 of Reynor. It's going to be up 2 upgrades. Mutas are coming from behind. Ooh, they hit the mineral line. They force back Serral. Serral forced a retreat. Upgrades are done, but Serral has to make use of them. He's yet to engage. I'm sure he's clicked on the army of Reynor. I'm sure he knows. I'm sure he knows that he is ahead. That's a lot of Banelings. Jeez. The Banelings have arrived. So pushing in. And this can help sway a fight here in favor of Reynor. As Banelings move out, and Serral has to kite back. And does that the spread? Banelings, they're going for the Hydras. Hydras, they do pull back. Ooh, there's massive connections here on the right-hand side. Sorry, on the left. Banelings, they break through. No detection. Uh-oh. No, let's go. No detection. Serral, he survives, waiting for reinforcements. Borrows the drones. And Serral, he does come in for the surround. And reinforcements are coming in as well. And Reynor, I feel like he has to get the hell out of here. Yes, he has to pull away. It's just a random borrow. Let's go. And that was almost a one-and-done deal here for Reynor to try to go for that massive Baneling run by Elastic, or massive Baneling push, I should say. Didn't quite work out. More Hydra's building up again. Ooh, Reynor does take some blasts to the face. So, force back. Pushing forward. Yeah, and Serral, he will overwhelm. Again, Serral, he has the better upgrades. He's breaking through. Diving in the army. GG gets called as Reynor, he runs out of steam, and Serral, he will take the series 3-1, advancing on to the next round. GG. GG, well played, as Serral does claim the series, does advance on. My condolences to Reynor. We did have a back and forth. Thankfully, there was a back and forth between Reynor and Serral. We did see a map taken, and even in some of these games, could have gone either way as well. There was some clutch moments. Flexed moves here by Serral. He was flexing a little bit. He was having some fun with the burrow. It was great to see. I mean, the burrow was so smart to be able to preserve his roaches because he knew he was being overwhelmed, because there was no detection from the side of Reynor. The roaches survived, and then he could just buy time, just wait for reinforcements, and then surround the army. GG. Really well done. Something you just don't really see too often. Just really innovative play there from Serral. And with that, Serral overwhelms, and Serral will make it through. Now, if you're a fan of Reynor, do not worry. Reynor, he's still in the tournament. This is a double elimination bracket. It is double lim, so do not worry. We still have more matches ahead of us, more matches to come.